Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Lovely people. I was just saying that David was talking to me off camera and I couldn't hear a word because our band was strumming away, you see. I don't know what he's saying. I hope it's not profound. I hope he's not saying, help, my flat's on fire, because that would not be...
I was just whinging that I've not had coffee since last Thursday, mate. That's all. I am
not
ready today. I want to see everyone, but God.
Coffee? No, you can't. Life is not life without coffee.
Get me killed. I like cream and sugar. Just like 2 spoons, smack, and then a little bit of cream. Little sweetness.
Yeah,
oh my God, David! Look who showed up.
Who? What? Who's showing
David's here.
Oh, David! Yeah, he's our VIP guest, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
No, actually, we didn't. We do have VIP guests lined up, but we didn't have anybody lined up for today. But it didn't matter because look at these amazing, gorgeous, beautiful human beings that are here.
More than us three, really.
Absolutely, the best co-hosts on any show. With the exception of William, who isn't here today. We all know why. In fact, we've spoken to William, bless him, and we had a little chat, and he's bearing up, which is the important thing. Yes. And it was great to see him as well in the flesh. Great. Absolutely fantastic. So we look forward to William. He's going to be off. I think he's going to be offline till later in the summer, wouldn't you think? From our chats?
I think once he hears the news and he gets himself mentally ready and prepared. Right now, he's just talking with doctors and stuff like that. But keep him in your prayers, and also his lovely wife Sierra Rose. She's right there on his side, by his side. So yeah.
Oh, bless him, and our thoughts as always. We let him know that we love him dearly, and we can't wait to get him back in the band. We've put all our gigs off. We're no longer doing the Royal Albert Hall or Carnegie, and I know you were looking forward to the Hollywood Bowl gig, Ray, weren't you? It's not that far from you. Yes. I know you were looking forward to that one.
Yes, I was.
We'll get it on next year, mate. Don't worry. I know you've been practicing all our hits.
What exactly are the hits of you gentlemen?
Yeah, mate. We do some lovely sea shanties.
I could picture that one actually. We
do Newfoundland sea. Ray? He's in the band. Why? I mean, I know he's only the roadie, but he must surely know what we do by now, doesn't he?
I hope so. I mean, he's been watching us and he's been a part of us. He should know.
I'm just here for the party, honestly.
I'm getting worried now. He's asking what music we do, and he's been to all the... I mean, I know he's kind of only partly been there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? More like all roadies, no different, is he? And I have to complain. I don't normally complain, Ray. You know what I'm like, but we've been ordering those green M&Ms as part of our overrider. And every time David, they're gone, mate. So he goes in the room, I'm just going to sort it out, lads. I go in and there's no M&Ms. What the heck is going on, David? Leave the green ones, man. They're my favorites. Exactly. And Tucker Carlson, he loves them as well. He's a big fan of the green M&Ms.
Hey.
Oh dear.
Oh my God, that was shocking. They got not
only for Tucker.
Only the Tucker leave Fox, but so did Don Lemons left CNN.
Oh dear. It wasn't a shocker for me. It was almost. I celebrated more than I did King Charles' coronation. Right, I've got to be honest with you. I've got to be. Hey Raymond.
Yes.
What have you been up to the last week? What's been going on?
Enjoying some Dead Island 2.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dam Busters and Deep Silver. They gave some codes to the GFN, and GFN gave them out to some of the ambassadors. the gold edition, and it's been great, just knocking zombies and stuff like that. But that's what I've been playing, some Dead Island 2, and talking to David on Discord with a whole group of wonderful people. It's just amazing. It's just amazing meeting all these wonderful people from all over the world, and just talking about gaming and stuff, and playing games with them. So that's what I've been up to.
Can I just ask you, when you've been talking to him on Discord, has he tried selling you any green M&Ms? Has he been mentioning that?
No, man. He's been showing me he's been showing me his blood pudding. He's been showing me his sausage.
Excuse
me?
me?
He's showing me his
I send
all
you
this
these photos daily.
Yes,
Wow.
he does. Yes.
Wow.
Like
I didn't realize we were still on the black sausage thing. It's black pudding. Sorry,
I didn't know what black pudding was, and he showed me a
black pudding for the win. You see?
Yes, thank you, Phoenix.
Yeah.
I need that validation. I really
Well,
do.
she's Welsh, mate, and they eat all sorts of body parts down there. No, they do. They do. It's just one. They only just got over cannibalism in Wales. They do. They go marauding the hills for sheep and all sorts of stuff, mate.
Sheep. Let's not go there with the sheep.
Oh no. I love the Welsh. I do, but you do have to wear gloves when you shake their hands, because you might not have a finger. You know what I'm saying, David? You know what I'm saying?
No,
David, what have you been up to?
Barely anything, Rokk. Barely anything. I've been nocturnal for the past couple of weeks. So I've just been fighting to get back onto a good schedule. But as you see, I'm here today, so I'm most of the way there. But I've not been getting a lot of gaming in because of it. I've just been dusting on the odd game here and there, Battlefield, Fall Guys, silly things you can jump on for 10, 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
Dorrigan is concerned about your cholesterol, mate. And I mean, he's got a fair point, because green M&Ms, very, very high in sugar content.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
It's getting stale now, Rokk. It's getting stale. You've got like one more.
Well, I would refresh your consignment if they're getting stale, buddy. It's the last thing you want, isn't it?
One more use of that joke you've got in the show. One more use.
I can't help it. It's what I do. Well, what have I been doing, I hear you ask? Nobody does. I've been doing...
Hey, Rob, what you doing? Rob,
thank you, Ray. I shall let you know. That's very kind of you to ask. I have also been Dead Island 2ing it a little bit, yeah. Got the code same way that Ray did.
Wait a minute. How do you go from Animal Crossing to Dead Island 2?
I know. My mind is a mess, my friend. And that's the weird thing, because it's exactly what I do. So I get up really early, just about the time David's going to bed. About 6 a.m.
Roughly.
It's true.
Yeah.
And then I fire up Animal Crossing, see if I can pay off my home loan, which I did this morning. It's all paid up now. It's my 3rd room. I'm not buying any more. Or second room, but 3 rooms. That's it. I'm not building any more in my house. Done that, right? Sometimes I jump into Dreamlight, which I love, but I tend to keep that for special times in my day now. Then this is what happened this morning, across to LA for a bit of the old gore-tastic. Did a bit of that. And then I went and had a business meeting where I actually talked as a lawyer. I met a lawyer who deals in intellectual property law. He's a lovely guy. I've known him for a few years. And he does a lot of work in the States with game developers. So we spent most of the conversation talking about gaming and stuff. Then I came back and played some Resident Evil 4.
Wow.
Killed a few more weird creatures. But yeah, that's the way that's how I am, mate. I'm just killing zombies for the sheer fun.
I love gaming, because you can just go from shooting to fantasy to driving and just like that.
Yeah, it's the way it's got to be. It's the way it's got to be, isn't it? In this world we live in. Yes.
Can I just ask you, what do you think of that Dead Island 2? I haven't had the chance to play it yet, but I've been watching Ray's streams, and it looks so good.
It is very bloody. If you are into melee attacks, because you're going to be doing a lot of melee attacks and combos. It's a melee game, but
it is.
I think they did a really fabulous job with the graphics. If you played the Dead Island, the first game, you'll love this.
The only thing I miss, the first one, Ray, Dead Island, wasn't it literally on like a holiday Caribbean island thing?
Yes, it was. Yeah,
I quite liked that. that sort of running around where there's not a lot of buildings and things.
Mm-hmm.
But I am enjoying it. My only fear with it is
Mm-hmm.
whether it gets boring quickly. So many times you can kill a zombie.
And that's what the whole thing with the cards you get. You got to
Yeah,
do
that's true.
the skills. I
Skills,
mean,
yeah.
I had a machete, and then I added some electronical parts, and it was cutting through the zombies like butter. And then
Yeah.
let's not look at the detail when you're in Bel Air and you're going through those homes and you
Yeah.
look at
I
all the
know.
illustrations. I'm like,
So good.
oh my god! I mean,
Yeah.
and that's what the Bel Air, the California Hills, it's those multi-million-dollar homes up there with the infinity pools, the view of L.A. or L.A. and it's really really cool.
And each one of those. Sorry,
Mhm.
Ray.
Oh,
Sorry, Ray.
and when you think about it, they said it's like, an open world is like all over the map. This game, you're kind of closed in, but the mansions and the streets are still kind of large,
Yeah.
and the swimming pools and stuff. So,
And that's
yeah,
true. And something that I'm just discovering, I think you're a little bit ahead of me, is that when you go into a house, every single one of them has its own story. The
yes,
owners. Like I went into
yes,
one and it was some
yes,
content streamer guy, and you've
yes,
got their own, like little audio stories and the
yeah,
characters from inside the house and
yeah,
stuff. And they've really
yeah.
put
The
a lot of
old
effort
the
into
old
it.
man Curtis. Have you met old man
Yeah,
Curtis?
yeah, yeah. I've
I
done him.
okay.
Tony Curtis.
I just loved it, and
Yeah,
also the dark humor, the comedy.
yeah,
It's pretty funny, and I mean, if and that isn't that what zombie games are like? Just
yeah,
smacking and knocking people out and
yeah,
stuff, and
yeah.
then get the brass knuckles. I hit a zombie.
Did
I
you get
kid you
those
not.
the
The
claws?
jaw. I smacked him
I
dead, and
know.
his jaw
I
just
know.
fell off. It
It,
was
it is incredibly gory because they use a system
yes.
called, I think it's literally called flesh,
Flesh. Yes.
to so the
Yes.
bits can
Well,
drop off and stuff. If
if
that's
you
not your thing, don't play
when
it.
you drop a zombie down, look at
Yeah.
the veins move. You can see whatever that's flowing
I
through their
know.
body. You can actually see it move in their skin and on their flesh.
It's fun.
It's
It is
It
crazy.
fun.
sounds like you're really into these zombie corpses,
We
Ray.
just
A
like
little too
we're
much.
old, mate. The closer we
We're
get to
old. We're
death,
old.
the more
Exactly.
fascinating with it we
Exactly.
become.
Exactly.
We
Yeah.
can't help it. See, Cowboy's playing Callisto Protocol, which
I know with
I've
his
all but
wife.
finished it. It is
That
pretty tough.
That is my next
Yeah,
game because what I'm doing now is certain games I'm waiting
yeah.
for 'em. I got my eye. I'm waiting for them to go on sale, but that is a
Mm-hmm.
game on my radar to get.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's a good
shout
game.
out to him and his wife.
You've got Game Pass Ultimate, haven't you, dude?
Yes, I do.
Well, it's
Yeah.
free on there.
Wait a minute. Excuse me.
Callisto,
It's free on what?
isn't it? Or did I buy it?
No.
Oh no, I bought it. I don't buy them very often. I forget. I'm sorry.
No. I
Yeah,
wish.
no, I
I
remember
wish.
now. I paid hard for that. But yeah, it is a tough game, and it's very unforgiving. But I'm
Is it really rogue like
yeah,
I
it's
can't do
it's
rogue.
no
Can't do
more
rogue.
than than Dead Island 2. So it will set you back, back to a save point or back to just before where you
Hmm.
were. But in the case of Callisto, it sets you back to the last point of saving, which is can be 15
Right.
minutes before where you were, or it can be two
Right.
minutes before where you were.
Right.
But yeah, you kind of, the more you play it, the
Hmm.
more synchronized with the game you become, and you kind of know how to deal with the various enemies and what to look out for and what to avoid.
Right. Right.
But I've come up against the big boss.
Wow. And then
Always the game when I always the point when I pull out of
and
most games is the big boss at the end. I just can't be bothered.
and then another shout out is The Last of Us Part 2. I'm just playing that. I had
Yeah,
to cut my PS5 off because I didn't know what was going to happen to one of the main characters. I'm not going to do no spoilers, but I was so devastated. I had to
yeah.
cut the game off and get myself
I hear
together. I
you.
was like, I
I hear
can't
you.
believe that
Yeah,
happened. It was so emotional. Like,
yeah.
no.
I agree. The thing I loved about Last of Us Part Two, again, try not to spoil it for anybody, is there's a character that starts off quite evil, And then as the game progresses, you become much more sympathetic to them. And by the end of it, you're really rooting for them. I thought that was so clever. I've never seen that in a game before.
Right.
These
Yeah.
storytellers in games, the creative directions they're going in now, it really is becoming phenomenal. It competes with some of the things you see on
Right.
TV and on the in cinema, because
Yeah.
they just put so much thought into them. I mean, some games take 10+ years to come out, and it shows. It really shows.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Dead Island 2's been, there's been talk of it for 12 years. My guess is they've been talking about it for 12 years, and they started making it 2 years ago. I can't believe it's a 12-year development game. Not when you compare it to something like The Last of Us or Horizon Zero Dawn, where there's so much story. And
Right.
don't get me wrong, I'm loving it, and it's a great game, and it's very much like Dying Light, by the way, David. I don't know if you've ever played Dying Light or
Yes.
Dying Light 2.
Without
Very,
question.
very similar.
It's another one I've only seen on stream, but
Yeah.
that one was great too.
Very, very similar.
I agree with you. They took out the whole jumping, the parkour, the jumping and
Yeah,
all that.
parkour, yeah.
Parkour. What did I say? Parkour.
Well, you were there.
Old man,
You shut up. You shut up. Respect your elders, young man. Respect your elders.
Respect
okay?
your Elvis.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I agree. Anyway, should we get on with the news?
Yeah, we got a lot
Shall
of
we?
news.
We got some news. We got some news.
Yeah.
Let's get ourselves over to the news section, and we go. Now I'm just gonna bless him. I'm just gonna leave William there because we said we would, like Tiny Tim's chair in the corner of the table.
Yes.
Just to remind us of our missing friend. I'm sure he's watching today. We love you, mate. You know it.
Yeah, he was in the chat earlier.
Oh, was he? Oh, good. Excellent. Right. Well, let's start with this one then. Capcom, a company whose wares I've been experiencing a lot recently. A lot of Resident Evil. Resident Evil 3 and 2 I've played on Luna and loved them. The remakes. And now, of course, I'm playing Resident Evil 4. But here's some good news. Resident Evil 2, 3, and 7 coming to GeForce now. It can surely... it must be a big old deal going down with Capcom. It can't be long, can it, before Resident Village as well? Resident Evil Village turns up. Excuse me. Beg my pardon.
Yeah, I definitely. First of all, this is awesome because everybody knows Resident Evil is a. That's a huge franchise, and to play that in the cloud because you're playing in the cloud, it's amazing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I loved Biohazard, by the way. I really, really loved that.
Daddy, getting chased by Daddy.
And the DLCs were great as well, and it led up to Village, didn't it? It's a good sort of starting point for Village as well.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's one of the longest running game franchises that's still going, correct?
Is it?
I think it is.
I'm not surprised, and people love it, mate, don't they? There've been movies and TV series and comics, and merch and stuff. It really is. I think it's like. What else have Capcom done?
Well, Street Fighter.
Oh yeah, there is that one. But what else have the Romans done for us? Oh yeah, there was Street Fighter. But no, it's great, and they must be one of the longest running software developers as well. They go back to the day, don't they?
Yeah. Oh my God, Capcom versus Marvel. I think just the Resident Evils. Back in the day, back in the 90s, when you thought Capcom, you thought like fighting games because they did a lot of, the Darkstalkers and a lot of fighting games and stuff.
Yeah, but they go back to console. Arcade.
Arcade, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They've literally been around that long, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. Before David.
Oh,
was
Devil
born.
May Cry. Oh my God, thank you. How can
Devil
we forget Devil May Cry?
Yes.
Thank you, Cowboy.
Yes, of course. Yeah, absolutely. David was an eye in the old man's twinkle when these guys were out and about.
I think he was somewhere else, but go ahead.
Do you think he was hatched? Do you think he was...
You're still coding me in.
I think he was. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's like the Matrix, isn't he? So yeah, all good. There you go. Look, we got coming up. And by the way, these are opted in. So that simply means that on Steam they ticked the box that said they're happy to be on GeForce Now. But with a company as big as Capcom, that it's almost guaranteed that that is in the full knowledge of your men and your ladies at Nvidia. So Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, loved it. Resident Evil Resistance. No, I don't think I've played that. Or is it a DLC? You familiar with that one?
That was the online expansion to 7, I believe, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know if I played that. Or maybe I did.
Is that right? I think so.
Yeah, maybe. Well, Biohazard RE, which did I play that? I can't remember. I think I did. The Z version, Resident Evil 3, 2, and the 2Z version.
Right.
So lots of res going on. I did love this, the way they did 5, 6, 7 as Roman numerals and then made it evil. That was clever. Yeah, I like that. That was clever.
That was.
So yeah, that's all happening. Very good. It's great to see so many games coming to GeForce Now. Our good friends at Cloud Dosage, to which we owe them our gratitude for this article, they Jack Slip. He did a thing on Twitter, I think it was either today or yesterday, where he was showing the the amount of games on all of the cloud platforms and how they've increased or decreased. And GeForce Now was just like a stratosphere ahead of everybody else. You know, all the complaints about, we don't get the games. Well, they've got vastly more than your Black Nuts and your Utomics and your Boosteroids and so on, at least officially.
Right.
So, yeah, very, very good. Well done to them.
And thank you to Cowboy for the correction. That Resistance was the online expansion to the Resident Evil 3 remake.
Yeah,
It was just a
Cowboy knows.
multiplayer mode.
He knows these things. That was the online expansion to RE3. Cool. Oh, right. Well, I'm playing that, so I need to... I finished 2, completed 2. I was streaming... No, hang on. I finished 3, streamed it, and now I'm very close to the end of 2, but then I started playing 4, and I haven't gone back to 2. A lot of people have said that for them 2 was their favourite, but I mean, I've enjoyed it, but I actually think I enjoyed 3 more so far, and I'm loving 4. 4 for me, having played Village as well, is the best one.
I think 7, because I did the VR 7.
7 was brilliant.
And I did VR, I did the cloud, I
Yeah.
did the console. I went back, and I mean, just daddy busting through the walls and chasing you throughout the house, and man, just crazy. Hey Dre, good to see you.
How are you,
Dre.
dude? Great to see you. Thank you for
See you,
popping
Dre.
in, my friend. Yeah, no, it was brilliant, and the DLCs for it as well were really, really good. I remember because it kind of added more to the story and set it up for Village. But the other thing about 4 that I'm liking is how much it mixes in a lot of what they did in Village. See, I never played the original 4, so I don't know, for example, whether they had the vendor in the original 4. So there's a guy who looks a bit like Zur in the remake, and you buy guns and bits and pieces. It's very, very clever. He repairs stuff, and you can trade and sell and so on. I don't know that he existed in the original 4, but there was the big dude in Resident Evil 8, the Village. And I wonder, whether what we're seeing is kind of, okay, this is the route we're taking the series, the franchise. So the remake is going to be more like that. And then the next one, they did have him in the original. Oh, okay, I take it all back. I'll swallow my theory.
Cowboy, that's his favorite franchise.
Okay. Well, I don't blame him. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
He doesn't go heavy.
I remember playing 4, but this Resident Evil 4, and I haven't played the game, I played the demo, but the villagers coming at you and how they just they cut you off and they you're running.
Yeah, you're in a dead end and there's loads. They're just relentlessly coming at you.
Yeah.
Coming at you.
Yes.
I agree. Anyway, that's all coming to GeForce Now. It was a long-winded article, to say not a lot. But, that's the way it goes. Next up, hey, listen, fellas. AMD.
Woo.
The AMD, as easy as one,
Are these
2, 3.
handhelds going to be the new mobile gaming market? Because everyone seems to be pumping them out every
Yeah,
couple of months. There's a new company at the minute, isn't there? There's
yeah,
always
Right.
a new company
They
pumping
they're
out a new
they're coming
handheld.
after Steam Deck, man.
Yeah,
yeah,
They're coming after Steam Deck.
yeah. And I think that's what it's all about, isn't it, Ray? They've seen the success
Exactly.
that your Valve boys had with
Yes.
Steam Deck, and they're thinking,
Yeah.
we want a slice of this. And also, I guess they're probably looking as well as what Nvidia did, because Nvidia went right out on a limb with cloud gaming. I mean, there's no way you could have predicted that a chip GPU manufacturer would have been at the vanguard, at the forefront. Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. It was it.
Exactly.
It was that.
Thank you, Twitter. Yeah, that was David, I think. It was his kit. Look at his little face. Look, he's
I
guilty.
didn't just put it
No,
on mute.
not only green M and M's,
Half an hour ago.
but I think you're right, though. I mean, yeah, they're all having a crack at the handheld because everybody is liking the idea. Because I mean, I've said it as well. Your phone is already the handheld. I mean, most people these days have got, sizable screened phones, don't they? And you can get your little cushy and slap it in there, and you got your thing that's almost the size. I mean, some of these massive 7-inch screened phones, and you shove one of those into a little. You've got something the size of a Switch. And you can install games, or you can play cloud-based games. But people seem to like a lot of people say, and I think it's fair, yeah, but if I get a phone call, I like to be able to, put my handheld down and pick up my phone and talk to my chums and stuff. So you can kind of see why, oh no, I've bored him. He's gone. Yeah. David, you can kind of see why it would be something that you'd want as a separate device, I guess.
Yeah, it's just this world of where we're getting everything that we want to our fingertips. You know what I mean? Where everything is the most efficient way, and everything is the handiest it could be. I mean, yeah, we want to be able to have our phone separate to our device, but at the same time, having these things integrated, I think it's different strokes for different folks, isn't it? Because some people like having all those different pieces of technology, and some people are really minimalist and like having one thing that does everything.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. And to be fair, even though I sent my Steam Deck back because I just thought, I'm not going to get on with a handheld, I have so loved my little Switch. I have so loved it. I really have. When we've gone on long car journeys and I've been able to cross with the animals. And
Why do you think that is then? That you were so adoring of your Switch, but the Steam Deck it didn't pull you in as much.
well, funnily enough, I talked to the IP lawyer about this afternoon. I think with the Steam Deck, a couple of things. One, the battery doesn't last very long. And as a device, it is quite heavy as well, whereas the Switch is quite light. I can literally put the old Switch on the dashboard of the car and use a controller, not while I'm driving, by the way, hasten to add. And the battery lasts forever. I mean, a 3-4 hour trip, and it's still got 80% battery left. But also, I can plug the Switch into my TV, and I get a really good picture. It's been optimized for a decent TV. Whereas the Steam Deck, everything kind of is not. It has the option to plug it into a TV, but
it's all manual optimization on the Steam Deck as well, isn't
Yeah,
it? Like, for example, we know some folks who run a channel. Correct me on it. Is it the Deck Bros? Is that right? Deck Bros, which is Main Games and Winstar.
Rings a bell.
Deck Bros, Ray. The
Rings a
Deck
bell.
Bros. Yeah.
Yes. yes.
Deck. Deck. We heard you, mate. We weren't going to rise to a very cheap joke opportunity. We were just going to let you get on with it.
No, I saw Ray listening out for it, so I just had to make.
Why you got to be the dirty guy? Come on.
Yeah, he's not.
Anyway, they've got a channel called the Deck Bros, which is all about how to optimize games best for Steam Decks, and they do videos called "Will It Deck," which is will this Steam game play well on the Steam Deck? Because not every game will, not every game does.
No, a lot don't actually. But yeah, absolutely right. Whereas with your Switch, you know that the games on there have been absolutely built for the device. They've been optimized for the device. They've been tested exclusively for that device and working on TV. So it just ticks, and I can't get those games anywhere else. So I'm not feeling like, oh, I'm playing them on here, but I could be playing them on my laptop with GeForce Now or my television with GeForce Now. So it just kind of felt the more natural handheld, and I've really, really enjoyed it. I have to be honest, way beyond what I was expecting. And I guess this is what these go. So here we are with AMD, and the story is that it looks like they are about to produce either a whole bunch of new chips designed for handheld gaming, or even indeed coming up with their own hardware in partnership with others. And then young hi-fi hedgehog here, great name, a little winky emoji showing some of the different devices coming up. We talked about the Republic of Gaming devices, which look amazing, in fairness, and it could well be that I revisit the whole PC in a handheld in the future, but they're coming out with things that are very, very, everybody's having a crack at that whole Steam Deck success, aren't they? Including, of course, Steam Deck, who are about to, or have kind of announced they're working on a next generation, although it didn't sound like it was a vastly superior unit to the current one.
Maybe more just like a pro version of the current.
Yeah. Maybe a more optimized one using slightly faster and cooler chips and longer lasting batteries and that kind of stuff. I don't think they're going to be looking at OLED, for example, which I think would be a nice thing to go with. Ray, I don't remember if you ever did you ever look at the Steam Deck as a purchase option?
Sorry. I was thinking about buying the Steam Deck, and then I said, you know what, I need a new PC, so I decided to just invest in a new PC. But this year I am looking to get a Steam Deck or something equivalent to it. I think this is the year I'm going to do a handheld. Hold on,
he's gone again. Don't worry, it's all good. I'm going to come. Yeah, I'm actually going to switch us into a different look because it's just a little bit easier for me to maintain.
Around, shall we?
Just a little bit of, there we go. That's all fine. I'm sure everybody can see. Or we could go down the side. What do you reckon? Which end's the best? Oh, that one works, doesn't it? Let's do this.
I like that.
Let's do this. Yeah. It just makes it easier. We can do our features here now without switching into all those hiding stuff and everything. That's all good. So yeah, that I am a recent convert to the handheld since my little Switch. Have you got a Switch, David? I can't remember if you do or not.
No, I don't. No. I don't have a Switch. My partner has one of those Switch Lights that she got when there was that trend on Animal Crossing right at the beginning of lockdown, and everyone was getting one and everyone was getting into it. She got one back then, and I tinkered around with it a little bit, but I don't use it regularly. I don't even know where it is. I think I've got it in this house somewhere, but I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I'm hosting a show and doing algebra.
Oh, bless. Mate, no, bring him on. We said we'd have a VIP guest. I mean, I wouldn't be able to help him with his algebra, but he may know more about gaming than me. So, so there you go. I don't think there's much more we can say on that one. Guys, do you remember back along the announcement of the old Diablo 4? And there was a couple of beta sessions. Do you remember?
Yes.
And, some people like me completely missed the boat.
I didn't.
I
didn't.
Yeah.
I played it. I enjoyed it.
Good news. I bring good news. There's another one coming. There's another beta coming up soon for Diablo 4, which is good. I mean, to me, this is a confident developer. These guys are so confident in the success of this product. They don't mind you having little bite-sized chunks, and probably it's going to be with improved changes as well, I'm guessing. There's a strange man walking past my window.
Wait a minute.
He's been backwards and forwards. He's been backwards and forwards 3 times, and he keeps looking in. What do you want, mate? What do I do?
Hey.
Doing a show. Maybe it's our VIP guest. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe
Be
he's looking
careful,
for.
it's not it could be a flasher,
No, I don't know. Maybe he's just not a very clever burglar. I'll just up there. Hi. Yeah, you never know, do you? Yeah. So anyway, it's coming back. I was trying to find when. Here we go. 12th of May. What?
Sorry, I'm laughing at SBG in the chat. Is Cowboy stealing my surgery thunder?
Oh yeah.
Cowboy's just mentioned he's going to have to go in for a
He's
surgery.
having his shoulder. Yeah, it's life-threatening. It's a life-threatening shoulder operation. We absolutely, of course, we wish him well.
Pray for both of those guys.
Yeah, of course we do. Of course we do.
Yes, we love them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Will it stop Cowboy from streaming? No. Will he be streaming from the operating table? You know it.
Hey guys, live from the operating table.
Here he is, and they're just about to get injected. 10, 9. You know it, don't you? Camera falls to the floor, carries on streaming. It'd be like a live Dead Island 2. And the guy's going, I watch this dude on YouTube going on. And another thing about your show.
Seriously though, Cowboy, we really hope everything goes well. We really do.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course we do, and I'm sure it will. So the 12th of May, you can have another crack at Diablo 4. What I was going to say was it probably fixed any issues that people may or may not.
I didn't have it.
No,
Rock,
I didn't.
I played it. I had no issues. I was so impressed of the graphic and the detail. Like my character was walking in the snow, and you can hear the snow and the prints in the snow. This game, oh my god, I enjoyed the beta.
I enjoyed. I didn't. My whole point was, sorry, I didn't get. I forgot, and I got right at the very end, so I only had a couple of hours with it. But what I did play, I really, really enjoyed.
Okay.
And I thought, yeah, I could definitely get into this. So you're going to have a crack at the old cherry there. I don't know if they're going to start you at the same point, though. I know none of the original progress is saved across to the live game, which is understandable. But hopefully you get an opportunity to play at a different point in the game. So you're not having to do all of what you did before.
It'll be the same because the open beta starts in the prologue and then starts through Act 1. You've got access. The beta gives you access to the whole of Act 1 is what you've got access to.
Okay.
We will be, whatever you put into the beta, you will then have to redo that if you want to complete it all again when you get access to the game again. But that said, it's worth mentioning if you hit level 20 in the beta, you also get a cool little item or cosmetic that you will bring into your new character.
Oh, wow.
That is good.
That is
awesome.
cool. Yeah,
awesome.
Because you've had to create an account, presumably, in order to play it in the first place. So they'll record the fact. Oh, love it.
Yeah,
love
you still get something out of it as long as you're playing. Is what's what.
Yeah. And it does actually say, as I suggested, the beta will also feature updates and tweaks taken from feedback from the first two.
Nice.
So if your classes feel a bit different, they are. It says, and you can check out all the Server Slam beta details there. So,
Rock, where were you? Were you a barbarian? What was your character?
Yeah, I remember being a big dude, like the biggest dude in the whole thing.
I think that's barbarian.
Yeah, I think I was a barbarian.
The druids are bigger than the barbarians.
No, I was a druid. Yes, I was. I was a druid.
The druid is bigger than a barbarian?
Yeah. The druids are like these big round men, whereas barbarians are like built like barbarians.
Yeah, see, I thought I looked more like a druid in real life. So that was just me like kind of projecting.
Well, you know, Rokk, I actually had to teach Rudigs recently that druids actually existed once. He thought they were completely mythical beings.
Absolutely they did. Yeah,
but they are our people, aren't they, Rokk?
They were, yeah. And the last of the druids, actually, they died out in Wales, bringing it back to Phoenix. That's true. They had a whole nation going on there.
But turned into animals when no one's looking. Is that right?
Yeah, they did. They did. Turned into sheep. Still there to this day. That's true.
That's right.
I'm interested in your thoughts on this one, fellas. So, IGN, Sega of America is unionizing. Now, I was surprised, to be fair, that this wasn't already a thing. But we've seen a lot of stories over the last few years about developer crunch and sort of burnout amongst software engineers being pushed, and then stories about inappropriate management and behavior and stuff. So it's almost inevitable. What are your thoughts on this, Ray?
I think everybody should be represented, especially in video gamings. I mean, look what happened with the whole Cyberpunk and versus the management deal. Those guys really didn't want that game out, but you had management, you had investors pushing it and pushing it to get it out, and having these guys. I mean, you heard the stories. I think honestly, yeah, it's because I had friends that were testers. I've had friends that worked in the industry, and boom, cut, just like that.
Yeah, just out the door.
Just out the door.
Yeah.
So
we've seen it across most of the tech sector, haven't we, in the last few months? And we've also discussed about this is also with companies that are making extreme profits, and a lot of it is really more about shareholder value and shareholder interest than it is about the interest of the workers. So, I think, let's face it, in America, but all over the world, and the same in the UK, being in a union has been demonized, but largely by the bosses and the press, which are owned by the bosses. But truthfully, a good union looking out for its workers is a fundamentally good thing. I mean, some of the points they're saying here that in Sega, particularly, they're looking for higher base pay for all, to follow industry standards. So they're not saying we want more money than anybody else gets. They're just saying they feel that they're not getting paid what is kind of the standard for their industry, and tied to the cost of living, which again is not untypical in most successful businesses and organizations. Improved stable benefits for all, healthcare, retirement, remote work opportunities, and so on. Increased clearly outlined opportunities for advancement. But I mean, these are things, to be fair, that a good company would have for its workers. And it's a shame, and this is where unions came from the first place, because it was redressing the balance where everything was for the profit and the owner of the business. And if you were a worker, you were no more than a cog in the wheel. Balanced workloads and schedules, adequate staffing of departments to end patterns of overwork. Now, I mean, they're not necessarily going to get all of these, and I'm sure there'll be compromises, but these seem like fairly principled objectives, don't they, David? Don't you think this kind of should be fairly de rigueur?
It should be, Rokk, but I mean, conversations like this, I get on my soapbox a little bit. I get upset about them, I really do, because this world, it just needs to be a little bit fairer. And the obvious thing to do, the fair thing to do is very obvious. It is, and it's simple, but they don't choose that. They choose the profitable thing, which I mean, like I say, I can talk all day about it, but this isn't the place. It's not, because I get on tangents about it. It's not right. It's not right. Oh.
No, and I think and I know a lot of people are going to say, "Hang on, this is the software industry. I've never met a poor software engineer. They drive around in Porsches and stuff."
The whole world, though. It's the whole world.
No. There's people who do the graphics. There's people who do coding. There's a lot that's put into a game, and I think everybody should be, from top to bottom, should be represented and treated fairly and equally throughout. And they workloads. These guys have certain timelines. I mean, you got to have this done, and they're not staffed properly sometimes.
Incredibly stressful jobs. They're working 40 to 60 hour work weeks in some different game and development departments. They're working ridiculous work weeks. Don't get me wrong, their pay isn't starting salaries, but they also, to get where they're at, even just to get their foot in the door, they've got to start with a 50, 60 grand loan and 4 years at university. It's not an easy path.
You make a good point.
Mental wellness is very important right now in the workforce. Mental wellness. You see what's going on in my beautiful country with all the craziness going on, and people are stressed. You can get easily stressed working for a video game company. or any type of job. You know, it's stress.
It's just about fairness, guys, isn't it?
Right. And pay. And
Yeah,
pay.
you look after your workers, and your workers look after you. I mean, it's fairly. I've always thought it's fairly basic. Being a businessman, I've always kind of taken that route, but a lot of these outfits don't. And of course, different cultures around the world as well. I mean, Sega's obviously an Asian business, and we know that they may not have in some companies, not all. In certain parts of the world, they have maybe even less of an interest in the welfare of their employees. So no, I think it's a plus. I think it's a positive thing. I don't have any negatives to say about this article, guys. I'm sure you feel the same way.
Yep, 100%. Miss Phoenix, she says, your people are always your most important asset in business.
In life,
and I totally agree.
We need to learn that we're better together. We are stronger together. No matter if you're a CEO, no matter if you have millions and billions, you're not going to retain those millions and billions if you don't have people helping you to do that. And you should start respecting those people. Oh,
there you go. David gets the applause of the day.
Yes.
Absolutely, my friend. Couldn't agree with you more, my friend. Absolutely agree. We are stronger together. Divided we fall. What's the phrase? Together we conquer, divided we fall. Something like that, isn't it? And Miss Phoenix she's giving you a round of applause. There you go. You deserved it.
Yes.
Right. Very profound. I've noticed of late my content getting more and more profound. So we'll move on to something quite... Oh, look at this. The Financial Times. Try it unlimited for £1 for 4 weeks, Ray. Today's show is sponsored by the Financial Times. I wish. This article is in the Financial Times. Sadly, it has been... What do they call it? Gatewalled? I can't remember. But the story anyway, which we can cover this story without even seeing this. Oh, look, there's me. Hello. Don't know what I'm doing there. Let's bring something. So the story, Ray, well, you know Destiny Warriors, the game. You know Destiny Warriors, quite a big game. Well, do you also remember? You may or may not, but a few months ago, paywall. Thank you, Anthony. Absolutely right. That was exactly what I was trying to think of. Thank you, my friend. Not that long ago, Credit Suisse, a Swiss banking outfit. Big, ouch. Lots of, there was like a tumbling domino effect, wasn't there? There was the guy in the States that did something, and then that impacted, and ultimately Credit Suisse it was rescued. But the rescue invariably meant that a lot of people suffered. Their stock price fell and all sorts of stuff. Well, the guys behind Destiny Warriors, who I would love to tell you their name, but as I can't get beyond the paywall, I can't find it. They actually lost a little. I mean, not a massive software house, but with one or two decent successes. Japanese firm. They lost $30 million from that deal. That was a massive. You see, it's like the ripple effect, isn't it? That's boom, and then the ripple, and there's these guys out on the fringes that get burned, and they got burned. So they've had them themselves have had to be bailed out, and it's this kind of stuff. It's a real shame. I can't bring you more detail because I don't have the article. But it's what it is. It is what it is. Not much more we can say on that one. But I do bring you good news. I think it's good news anyway. Let's pull this up. I don't know why I'm seeing all these in black and white. Oh, it's because it's IGN. Turns out there's a new Horizon Forbidden West sequel coming, and we're not just talking about the DLC which came out in the last couple of days, which I've heard is amazing, and it's not a bad price. It's about £15-16.
It has been review bombed though. Have you also seen that?
Oh no, has it, David?
Twice.
Yes, it
it's
has.
been massively review bombed. Yes.
Yeah.
All I've heard from people who played it is that it's great. I've heard it's great. I've even been watching Rudix play it on his stream. It's been great.
So is it true to say that if you're a fan of Horizon, then you're going to love it? And if you're an old cynical hack who probably only ever played an hour of Horizon, you're going to say, oh, it's just like the last one. Is that what you're going to say? Yeah.
Do you want to know what it was most
It's the kiss, right? It was the kiss.
It was a lesbian kiss.
You're joking. That's what they've bombed it for. Oh, my God. What? Where do we live in the world? I absolutely blame the likes of Tucker Carlson. I know, I mean, I don't want to go off and get too political, but it's
Right.
the world they've created. Because what they've basically tried to do is this is the same in the UK, Ray, as it is in your country. If you paint a picture of despair and suffering and stress and hardship and blame other people for your woes, it apparently turns out it sells newspapers and show subscriptions, and it
Right.
gets you members on your channel, and it makes a lot of money for you. So we have a disproportionate amount of bad news in relation to what we should have, which actually
Right.
the world's all right. We got some issues we need to deal with, but if we work
Right.
together, as David says, we could absolutely solve pretty much everything. And so they've started to pick on people like the LGBTQ community,
Right.
like
Love,
people of different colors and
you know,
cultures.
Whatever
love
the
is
controversial subject is, whatever it is.
Yeah.
right. Love is.
Sorry, Ben.
I've been a jeweler for 20 years. I made custom bands, wedding bands for men marrying men and women wearing women, and it's nothing than seeing two people sit in front of you holding hands in love and getting ready for the rest of their lives. So I have no problem, but it is 2023, people. Get over it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get over it.
As
Get
a
over it.
man whose business partner for 25 years is gay, who employs more gay people than straight people in my business, just the way it's worked out, who has a daughter in a mixed race relationship. And none of it is keeping me up at night. None of it makes me give it a second thought. These are fantastic human beings that I share oxygen with, that happen to be made of the same constituent parts as me. And quite frankly, the world would be grey and boring if they didn't exist. And yet, there's this element that makes money out of making it wrong. And unfortunately, we happen to have an amount of people, but not everybody, who can't do critical thinking. They just want to be told how to think, and then they vote. And we end up where we are. What do you say, guys?
But they're not taught critical thinking, Rock. They're taught to be impulsive, and they're taught to pay
To
attention
follow
to these
followers,
controversial subjects that the
sheeple.
news highlights. The news puts the knife in and twists it on these controversial subjects because they know that it's going to get people inflamed, because it's an easy to talk about thing where people are going to be on either side, where it doesn't matter what your beliefs are about transgenderism or homosexuality. Like, some people disagree with it, and you know what? If you're a Christian who disagrees with it, that's fine, as long as you're not maliciously imposing that on other people. Like, everyone's entitled to their beliefs, and we just need to. We all say that in the modern day world. We all say you're all entitled to your beliefs until it becomes a news article, and then our beliefs are what it should be, and it's an irony. But they do it on purpose. They take advantage.
I agree. But God doesn't say any of this is wrong. The Bible may do, but the Bible, as we know, was written not by God, but by men who say it was the hand of God. But you know what? I could go and slap someone in the face and say it was the hand of God. Don't make it right. Do it.
It's all contention, it is. But what matters is that your belief shouldn't have an effect on someone else's life and vice versa. They shouldn't. We should all be able to respect the humanity in each other.
May, as Paul McCartney once said, live and let die. That's what I say.
Yeah, let Alloy go kiss another girl. It's a really good story. If you haven't played it and you've already played Horizon, play this DLC, because Rue Diggs said that the cinematics in it, the story building in it is just epic. It's the next level. It really is.
Well, I'm definitely going to buy it. The only reason I haven't, because I'm a massive fan of Horizon. I mean, one of my all-time top 3 games of all time is the Horizon series. The only reason I haven't done yet is because I've got so many games on the go. I want to wait until I've got some space and I can devote to it. And it's going to be around for a while. So that's for me. But yeah, one day not necessarily on this show, maybe players, but we need to confront this attitude. Look at the amount of similar encounters there've been. I mean, Last of Us famously has a DLC that encompasses it. I think there's some stuff. I mean, it's the way of the world, and has always been so. we need to get on with life, don't we, guys? Anyway,
live and let die, as you
live
say.
and let die, mate. That
Yeah.
was famously by Paul McCartney. What a song! And of course, who else did it? Was it the Foo Fighters or somebody else covered it later, didn't they? Live and let die. I think was it the Foo Fighters, Ray, or was it someone like
I
that?
don't care who it was originally, Rock. All I know is, can you do that for my wedding day? Because that was impressive.
I'd turn up for you. I'd do that at your wedding. No worries, bro. Just make sure there's a spare sausage roll for me, and I'll be there. No worries. Now, there was some additional news. I'm just having a quick look because I hadn't seen it before. That I think you probably popped in there, David. And we
Just
can
a couple of interesting subjects.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, let me see if I can just pull us. So, Dead Island 2 shifts 1 million copies in a weekend. Which, for me, the good news about that is it says the old first-person shooter's not dead. You know, people were saying, they're dead. It's all third-party stuff now. You don't third-person stuff. But clearly not. If it's a good premise.
That first game had a lot of love. That first game was, it wasn't even like a cult classic. It really was like a top grossing game of the year. I don't think it hit game of the year, but it was a game of the year, Dead Island. When it came out.
It was an open world. You can even drive cars. You could go across the island.
Yeah.
It was,
you can't drive cars in 2, can you? We haven't found you can so far.
No, right now you're just. I'm in Bel Air. I'm running around Bel Air. But what's cool is they got some really nice, cool Lamborghinis and Ferraris parked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I wish I could just get in and drive one over. But
do you know what, Ray? And this is only from probably about 3 hours of play so far, maybe 4. Mm-hmm. It's one of those games I think it's going to literally get under your skin. You're going to be away from it because you're right. Actually, purely from a voyeur perspective, sniffing around some of them millionaire mansions is fun in and of itself, isn't it? Because they're all different. They're not reusing the same graphic elements. They're all literally built and decorated differently.
Yes.
It's just that in itself. Being a bit nosy, I find that quite fun.
You go in the closets, you go in the bathrooms. There's been jump scares where you open up a bathroom door and there's a zombie. There's walkers, there's runners. There's different type of zombies. I love this game.
That's awesome. You seem quite tempted, David. Are you quite tempted to pick up a copy at some point, maybe?
I would love. Do you know what? There's 2 things stopping me. The price, because I just can't afford to look at games that cost that much.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
Also, I have a little irk with it, and it's not crossplay. And most people don't care about games that aren't crossplay, right? It's a small gripe for most gaming communities, because most gaming communities are formed around a game or around a console, whereas we were all formed around Stadia. Now Stadia's gone, and we're all in different places now. And I've got friends getting it on PlayStation, I've got friends getting it on PC, and I've got friends getting it on Xbox, and I'm like, now I've got to pick friends to play with. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying, dude. I know what you're saying.
I hear you.
You can. There is co-op though with it, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is
with
co-op.
Dead. I haven't. Well, you know, I'm not. I'm a miserable old git when it comes to gaming. I like my own company.
I know, you need to play with us more. You really do.
I know, mate, and I do enjoy it when I do. But I just think when I've got that game time, I just like jumping in and playing stuff that I want to play, and invariably the co-op and multiplayer stuff is not necessarily a game that I would play out of choice. You know?
I am the same way until I'm playing them and having a laugh with 5 or 6 of the different folks. I'm not as invested in the community-based multiplayer games, the PvPs. I much prefer a big open story that gets you invested in that type of thing. But when you're having a laugh with Ray and SPG and we're all venting each other on Among Us, there's nothing that beats that. It's fun. It's banter with the lads.
I agree. I have absolutely no disagreement with you at all. I think I just need to remind myself that it isn't just about the game, because that stuff transcends. It doesn't matter what game you're playing, does it?
Right.
It's about being with mates, chums, friends, pals, whatever you like, and having a laugh, which
Yeah.
gets the endorphins flowing, which makes you feel happier, which makes you feel more positive, and that increases positivity in your universe and the people
Yes.
around you. And that's got to be worth nothing. It costs nothing, does it, Ray? Not
Nope.
really.
No.
If you
I
already,
enjoyed watching Rue and N7. They did some co-op playing and running around. It was pretty funny. But
I tell you what was great was to see Rudig's standing in for William on his channel as well.
he did a fabulous
Yeah,
job.
brilliant,
Great
brilliant.
job.
What a lovely
Good
guy.
job.
And it was a great show as well. And everybody was well into it and enjoying the spirit of it.
We had a blast still. We
yeah,
did.
and it was-
always missed, but
And of course, but it was, it's nice for William as well to know that everything's in good hands, and he's not forgotten, which of course he's not. Right, do you know what? I think we'll end the news at that point, not the show, and we'll move on to our praising of our the guest. Ray, what do you think?
Yeah, let me pull it up.
I know we do always do a very professional job, and when I see it on the screen I will pull it up in a nice way. Yabba-dabba-doo. Cowboy King of Entertainment. He's looking at you, kid.
All right, let's share the screen.
Do.
if it's not Cowboy Riot.
So I'm ready for you, Rokk.
Thank you, my friend. Let's do this. Here, there. Oh, wow.
All right.
Look at who it is today.
It is Stu and Jimmy the Saint, the Renaissance Men. Guys, I was shocked to see that these guys have 469 videos with 425 subscribers. These guys are brilliant. They do pop culture, they do Legos, they do hot takes, Star Trek, flashbacks. They even did some videos on Snap, one of my favorite mobile games that I watch. These guys are, I love their content. If you want something just to relax and watch something, these guys are amazing. I love Stu, love Jimmy the Saint. I love their videos. They're short videos. They cover everything: wrestling, sci-fi, Lego toys, video games. They cover everything. You guys need to go back and watch their VOD.
Yeah.
They're awesome. Awesome guys.
I was so pleased when I found out this is who you're praising, because it's never been a secret. They're one of my favorite podcasts. They were one of my favorite podcasts before they even came to YouTube, and right. I've been a guest host on the show a couple of times. Stu and Jimmy are genuinely lovely guys, incredibly welcoming, very, very knowledgeable as well.
Yes.
The thing I love about the show is it never tires. There's never one dull spot in the whole thing, and these are quite long shows. They can go a good 3 hours, and and Stu works so hard. He does the most amazing show notes. This is from my own experience. He works ahead of it, days ahead of the show. He's asking for input from people, and he puts his little videos together and his stings, and just a great show. Bit sweary, not for everybody, but they are what they are. They are Renaissance men. And I think anybody who was maybe born in the 80s and has grown up loving Lego and wrestling and Marvel and Star Wars and stuff, these guys cover it all.
Yes.
They're absolutely fantastic show.
I've just started popping in watching their content, and I must say they're so friendly. They always say hello, and they're also great. You're right, great supporters of our show as well.
Yeah.
But love their content, and and you guys are gonna love it too. You guys are gonna love it.
Brilliant guys. And I'm gonna be on it again soon. I was scheduled to be a host a little while ago, but it was It was around the time I had my operation, and there was just no way I was going to raise a smile on the drugs I was on. But nonetheless, they did great. And the last, I don't know if you guys saw the most recent show. They do Fridays at I'm trying to think. It's about 11 a.m. Eastern, about 2 p.m. Pacific. And last Friday's show was fascinating. They had a voiceover artist. Did I have it? Did I have it the wrong way round there, David?
Yes,
You were
yeah, the
wiggling your finger.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
had a they had a guy who is actually a voiceover artist, but he has done some of the main characters in some of the big games like Final Fantasy games and stuff. English guy, really nice fella, friend of Jimmy, because Jimmy the Saint. He
Jimmy
went
the
to drama school, so he's got a load of old drama-y mates, some of which are international stars now.
Right.
But he could call on a pool of friends, and very interesting show. If you're interested at all in what it's like to be a voiceover, a VA as they call themselves, how much money's involved, because the big surprise is they don't get nothing. Not like an actor who's in a Harry Potter movie who's set up for life. These
Right.
guys actually get paid to never receive any royalties. So they get paid by the hour for their 2 days' work or a year if they're lucky. And then they get given a percentage of that, again, a few thousand. And that's it. They sign a contract that says they never get another penny. Doesn't matter how long that game is out there. That's it. Full stop. So yeah, it's not a hugely wealthy occupation, but you do make money because, of course, if you're famously a voice of a character, you get asked to go to all the Comic Cons and all the events, and
Right.
and sell merch or those little happy birthday from Tom Cruise video things that you can get involved with. So, but yeah, if you're interested in any of that stuff, then it's definitely worth watching last Friday.
They're on Twitter. They're the Renaissance Cast on Twitter. They're also you click on their social medias. They're also on Twitch TV as well. But once again, these guys are amazing.
Yeah,
and you'll love
they're
their
great
content.
guys. It's a great show, and they are genuinely lovely people.
They
Like
are.
you said, they try and engage all the time with the chat. It's a magazine show, which are my favourites. This is a magazine show to a degree. We try and segment the content so that it's a little bit different every so many minutes. And they have maybe half a dozen different features through the show, and they vary them.
Yeah.
And are particularly keen on wrestling, if that's your thing. It's not my
Yes.
thing. That tends to be the point that I go off and play
my
with my jigsaw puzzles.
my wife calls me a geek, and these guys are like lovable geeks. You're gonna love these guys.
Yeah, they're great. Oh, and also, Ray, you probably didn't know this, but poor Stu is off work with tonsillitis at the moment.
Oh no! Well, I wish him
Yeah.
a speedy recovery and
Yeah.
best wishes to him.
Yeah, he's the purple one there, if you were wondering,
Yes,
by the
yes,
way. Yeah.
yes. And Jimmy, Jimmy the Saint, he's in the Star Trek outfit.
Yeah.
Thanos, though, isn't it?
Is it what, sorry?
That's Thanos that he's meant to be, yes?
I think so,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, that is
Yeah.
Thanos with the the crystals.
Yeah, that was a good fiver investment. That illustration. It's been used a lot since.
You're right.
Yeah. So there you go. That was brilliant. Thank you, Ray. I do love
Not a
those
problem.
guys. That's an absolutely excellent choice.
All right.
Oh look, there it goes. Goodbye. I don't know if you noticed. Hello, me. I don't know if you noticed, Ray.
Yes,
But
I saw that.
did you see? Yes.
Yes.
We have your. I don't know why I'm big, but anyway, I am big. So yeah, we have your proper avatar, David. Shall we? Tell you what, I'm going to share my screen again because the next and final section is a slight deviation from what we normally do with you. So David's diary normally in the past, in the old days, not the new version. The old version was you would rattle off a list that went on forever of all the games coming to Xbox and PlayStation.
Everywhere,
Yeah.
God, there's a lot of stuff to go over. But,
We're changing it now, aren't we? So what's gonna?
we boiled it down a little, and this week we're just going to go over two big titles that we're expecting soon.
Yes.
And we're going to discuss some of the things that has been talked about them, and we're going to see what everyone thinks. Because there's definitely some news to talk about in terms of Star Wars and Redfall.
Brilliant. So I'm just going to
Yeah,
find
you
any
have to do
any
it on
old
the fly,
news.
Rob, 'cause I didn't get any links ready for you or anything
No,
like
that's all good. I just realised, but I
you
am.
know
I've
that
got.
my PC can't handle the YouTube at the same time, can it?
Yeah, no, that's all good, mate. So I've got a cornucopia, a smorgasbord of links that we can jump into. So the first game, as for those of you that are eagle-eyed will see, is Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Oh
Take it
yes.
away.
It's a big title to come out this year. If you want to try and find a trailer to play as well, Rock, just while I'm talking.
Yes, I will. I'm just
Yeah,
going to
but
go
it
in
is
and have a.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It is 5 years on from the first game. It's worth mentioning it's a sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And it is 5 years on from the first game, putting it around the same time as the Obi-Wan TV show, if anyone's watched that. And it's
Oh,
yeah. And it's about 9 years before the original movie as well. So it's just approaching A New Hope and that whole timeline and finding Luke and all that type of stuff. It follows Cal Kestis, the same guy from the first game, and his old crew and companions from that first game too. Although like I said, it's 5 years on, so the dynamics have all changed. There's new planets introduced from the original, since the original. With Coruscant, which is a really well-known planet in Star Wars. It's where a lot of the big political decisions went down in the prequel trilogy. You know, that big built-up city in the clouds and all that, where all the rich folk live and all the Jedi are. That's Coruscant, and you're going to be able to explore that in the new game, which is meant to be really great. And you go from having a old what's the word for it? Your old hideout was it was portable. It was the ship where you zipped around from different planet to planet. But now it's going to be a new planet on Kobo. So there's all sorts of new places to explore. The old planets are going to be revisitable, but they've changed quite a bit. There's new areas to explore. So lots to expect that's coming new with this game. There's even new fighting styles. So in the first game there was a double lightsaber and a single lightsaber. Now they've added a couple other styles on top of that. One of them features, you know, the new films, that Keanu Reeves night sword where it's got like the little points coming off, like you know what I'm on about? One of those.
no, I'm not. A Matrix thing, is it? Or
No, have you not seen the new Star Wars films, Rock? The newer ones with not Keanu Reeves. What's his name?
I didn't remember Keanu Reeves being in a
Not
Star Wars.
Keanu Reeves. I'm getting all mixed up. Who's the guy who plays the? Come on, Ray, you're laughing at me. Help me out. Who is it?
He's like,
Who's that?
I'm old. I can't remember.
Keanu Reeves is still, you killed my
Adam
dog.
Driver, is it? Is that Adam Driver?
Adam
Oh,
Driver?
I don't know.
The chat will help us, my friend. Don't worry. They're brilliant at this stuff.
Yes,
Neil says Adam Driver, so I think we're on
yes,
safe
that's the guy.
territory there.
Well, you can
But then
use-
Rockmouth says Kylo Ren, so that's probably where you're getting it confused with the name of the actual character. Kylo Ren.
It doesn't matter.
No.
There's new fighting styles, and you get to use his lightsaber as well as a few different things. What are you giving away?
I don't know, but it's making me laugh. I loved the last game. I mean, I wasn't so sure about the dude, the character, but I understand that he's from the cartoon or something, isn't he? Is he in one of the...
No, he's completely newly introduced. He's
Oh,
like
is
a
he?
new focus character because they've closed off the law with 7, 8, and 9 now. They're working their way back, and like I
Are
said,
they? I didn't know that. Oh, right, okay.
well, they are going to expand it again, but they've kind
Yeah.
of they've put a cap on it right now, and
Yeah.
they've realised that 7, 8, and 9 as films weren't doing a lot for the terrain, so they've backtracked and they've started making a lot of older content, like The Mandalorian. It's
Yes.
set during already explored era. It's same as this. It's set during the already explored times, but it's a different aspect of it.
Got you.
Yeah, like I say, this goes on alongside the same time as Obi-Wan.
Yes.
But
Looks
obviously
great, doesn't it?
different places in the it looks phenomenal. It looks
Does
really
look good.
Um, It's meant to explore old lore, though, like what you said from the comics and old books. It does possibly explore old lore on the High Republic, which has never been mentioned in any of the movies before. as you saw in the trailer, there's another Jedi in there, and it looks like he's maybe been frozen in time or something. But he's came from thousands of years ago, from the time of the High Republic, which it's going to be the first mainstream edition talking about that time period in Star Wars.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting.
Looks good. Ray,
story building.
Yes.
Ray, do you see this?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my Jedi.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
It's worth saying it is.
Oh my
It's not going to be on older gen, which is going to be frustrating for some. But it also means better utilization of present hardware for consoles.
It looks really good. I mean, I'm not sure what this video is taken from, but we're at a point now. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. We're kind of at a point now where even if they show PS5 and then PC, it's difficult to tell the difference. Or Xbox, the next gens and kind of your half decent PC these days, they're just right up there, aren't they?
Yeah,
You
they
know?
really are. They're pushing the limits nowadays, and
Yeah.
especially when they're dropping the support for these PS4s and the Xbox Ones, and they're just focusing on these new gens. They can really push the boundaries on what they're capable of. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting new thing, and that is out in 3 days' time. Full price is £70, I believe, but you can get it on sales for 65 here and there. There's also a deluxe edition which comes with things like Obi-Wan's cosmetics, so you can get clothes like what Obi-Wan wore from the movies, and you can get like. Another cosmetic is the suit that Luke wore right at the end of the movie, A New Hope. But if you get the deluxe edition, you can get some cool little cosmetics.
Wow.
As well.
And I'm giving a copy away on my channel, of course, if you go to rockshow.com. And you can choose which platform you would rather have. So the winner can choose whether they want it on PC or Xbox or PlayStation. And I'm also giving away with it alongside a copy, a month's worth of subscription to any of the Ultimate gaming subscriptions. So that's Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, PS5 Premium, or GeForce Now Ultimate. Or indeed, if you'd want a month of Boost Droid, if that's your thing, you can have that. But that's all going to be given away on the 28th. So you've only got a couple of days to get in there and get into the list. So, but I do quite fancy this myself.
It looks
to be
great.
honest.
It really does. It looks like it is the first game, but just 3 times more. And I really hope that's something that they pull off.
Yeah, I agree. Well done. Nice one. So anyway, where are we? The 5th. So we've only got a couple of days, haven't we? 3
3
days.
days away. 3 days away. And we'll be able to get our hands on some more Star Wars material.
And you can preload this already, apparently.
I would imagine if you pre-order, you'd be able to
get in there.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the old if you pre-order, you get this. As I always point out to people, that's literally up to the day of release.
Yeah.
So pre-order it 1 minute before you actually play it and get all those goodies, because that's what I do. And Rockmirth says it's worth noting it's 120 gig.
That's true.
So if you have limited space on your hard drive, your PS5 hard drive, you need to bear that in mind.
Yeah,
I tend to rotate games in and out, Once I've played them, I delete them, because the saves are always up in the cloud anyway. If I need to reinstall it for DLC or something.
That only works for solo games, though, Rock. See, I've got a couple of
that's
massive titles that I can't get. The Battlefield is eating up 90 gigabytes of my console right now. Call of Duty, if I reinstall it, would take over 100. So, yeah.
Now, I don't know if this is coming to GeForce Now. I don't remember seeing it mentioned, but Ray and I are both ambassadors, and Ray will testify. They don't always tell us, and we typically only find out, like today or tomorrow, what games are coming on this week or within the next week. And so even though this is very imminent, we may not find out until tomorrow whether it's actually going to be playable on GeForce Now. And if it is, then the whole 120 gig thing goes out the window, doesn't it? Because you can simply buy it on PC and play it on GeForce. So fingers crossed there. I would also imagine I'd be surprised if it doesn't turn up on Boosteroid as well.
Oh,
So
most likely.
yeah.
I hope both of you fellas played the first one.
Yeah, loved it. I played it twice, I think.
On Stadia. I played it on. I had got it on Stadia and played it.
Such good fun. Great story, and the mechanics were fantastic. I loved the upgrades available, with all the different
Jedi powers.
Yeah, and the laser swords, whatever they're called. The lightsabers.
They've also announced that you will not have any reset on the abilities. So you'll start with all the same stuff that you got from the first game, and they're just adding to that. They're only adding to that. So, yeah, there's no starting from a clean slate and having to re-earn everything. You will be just as powerful as you were when you left off Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Brilliant.
Great.
I tell you what, David, I'm loving this new feature with all the info on the games. This is great. So then we've got one more, which is from the developers of Genshin Impact, which this was already.
Yeah. I thought this was something you put there and you might have wanted to talk about, but this is not the one I want to talk about, Rokk. No.
It's not one you want to talk about. What you want to talk about is Redfall.
Redfall.
Yeah.
I'll come back with Redfall. You talk about Redfall a second and I'll find out more about it.
Well, Redfall, I've read comparisons from it's like Back for Blood, that zombie killing game, to Deathloop with the types of powers that you can get in it. But it's a 4-player co-op, which is a vampire hunting game set in the town of Redfall. And it's this creepy little eerie Salem-like town. It gives like witch hunty vibes. You know what I mean? It looks really, really cool. It looks so pretty. People were even speculating it might have been on Unreal Engine 5 until they confirmed it's not. It's on 4. But Bethesda's official YouTube has got a 10-minute gameplay trailer and demonstration. If you want to put that on, but just if I were you, I'd find the actual trailer to see what's going on. But for everyone else, it's got a 10-minute gameplay trailer showing you the ins and outs of how it works and all the different things that you're capable of. So it's worth checking that out, as well as a bunch of other little clips about it in a promo sense.
Can you play it solo, or does it have to be?
Play solo. Yeah. It's not solely co-op, but it is designed for people to jump in with a bunch of friends and have a bunch of fun.
Like Dead Island 2, basically.
Yes, just like Dead Island.
Right.
Yeah, just like Dead Island 2. It looks like a ton of fun. It will be a great new community game, but for those on the correct platforms, because it is a Microsoft exclusive coming only to PC and, again, current-gen Xbox. So, PlayStation players, there is currently no date confirmed. It's possible, but it's one of those Xbox-acquired studios now, so we may not see it come to PlayStation. It's currently a Microsoft exclusive on PC and currently Xbox.
Wow. But it is going to be part of Game Pass.
Yes. Day and date Game Pass. So you got to pay nothing and you got full access on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th of May. Someone corrects me. It's one of those.
2nd of May. I got it 2nd of May for Xbox and Windows.
That's a nice little birthday present for me, folks. 2nd of May.
Is it? Yeah. Are you the 2nd of May? Wow.
Yes.
Oh,
little
bless
birthday
you.
Present for
14 years old. Fantastic. 14 years old, but you would think he's older, wouldn't you?
I am super excited for this. I really can't wait. I need new community games to get back into playing with all of you fellas. So
we'll have a whip round down the pub, mate. Get you a month's worth of Game Pass to play it.
And you know this, but this game is 30 frames per second.
I've got a couple of questions I want to ask you, fellas.
Sure, go for it.
Do you think it could make its way to PlayStation eventually? And also, how are we feeling about the lack of a performance mode on release? Now, they've said one will come, but
okay.
It's locked into a
4K. 4K 30?
It's not locked into 4K. It's locked into prioritized
quality
graphics. Yes.
Yeah.
So it is locked into a 30 frames mode. There is no 60 frames on release, which I personally, that's a great for me. But what do you guys think?
Go on, Ray.
You know what? Gotham Knights was 30 frames per second, and I actually enjoyed playing that. And I've been playing less frames when I was younger, and they've been awesome games. Nintendo Switch games are not 120 frames per second, and I've enjoyed a lot of games on Nintendo. So, um, I'm looking. You know what? Hey, I can't. I'm getting it free. It's on
I'm
Game.
playing it,
It
Ray.
does.
I'm
I
playing it.
mean, it's on Game Pass, so it's not costing me really anything. So I'm gonna be playing it. I'm gonna be checking it out, and yeah. But the thing, but I can look at it from both sides. I know these consoles are supposed to be next gen, and why is it not 60, and why is it not
Yeah.
120 frames per second? And I get that. I do get that. That's kind of like, wow, 30 frames, and they pushed this game back and back to work on
That's
it.
true. Yeah.
So I mean,
At what point do they come in? See,
I don't know.
I've got to be honest though. I do agree with you to an extent, but knowing, and I didn't know this until today, until this show, knowing that there is a 60 frame per second update coming, I'm kind of inclined to wait.
It's the way I see it. I've landed on it's a frustration. It is not an off put. Like it doesn't put me off wanting to play it. That said, I'm like, is everyone going to jump into it at first, or are half the people who I play with going to say I'm not touching that until it gets to 60? Because that I think that could be the case. But it doesn't put me off. I just find it a little frustrating. But as you say, it is going to get a 60 frames, a frame
Yeah.
rate prioritized mode. So
Because I've so in with the Switch being 1080 60, and I've been playing more and more games switching from quality to performance, which was not a thing for me until fairly recently. I used to prefer the whole 4K thing, but I've noticed now with game optimization, they still look amazing. They don't do 1080. Most of these games tend to go in at like 14 or 18. They're still a decent res, and 14 for me is optimum anyway. If I've got a game at 1440, 60 or a higher frame rate, perfect. I don't need 4K. As long as it's still got the textures, that's the key thing. The textures are what make it for me. But I may hang this one out till it's 60.
yeah, well, it might be worth doing. It might be worth holding off because it makes a difference. Those frames, whether or not some people don't notice, they don't. Fair enough to them. I wish I didn't notice, but the difference between 30 and 60 when you prefer 60, it's frustrating. It really is. It makes
I'm
it
gonna
feel
play.
difficult.
I'm gonna play it day and date. I'm gonna give it a try.
I'll be playing with you, Ray. I'll just
And
be whinging
yes,
about the frame rate.
yes,
If you're playing
yes.
with him, it's going to put him off, mate. If he's got to be playing on his own.
Um,
I think, but
yeah.
Ray, you need to because you're famous for doing kind of day and date game streams, and I'm giving it your famous opinion and your brilliant engagement and everything about all the stuff people love your
Like I
shows for.
said, Gotham Knights was 30 frames. I
Yeah,
played it, and I was riding a motorcycle around Gotham City. I was swinging from top of the buildings. It was great. I enjoyed playing it. So I think I'm going to just wait and see what it looks like. And I'm then once again, 60's coming. I can go back and
yeah.
experience again in 60 frames per second. But we'll see.
Have
But
they have they said how long we would have to wait for 60, or has it been a kind of
There's no exact confirmation. They
no?
said it will be soon. Soon is what is the
Okay.
goal.
me honestly though, Rock, I would have held it some more and wait until it was 60.
Yeah.
Wait until it was 60 because it
Who do you
is
think would have
next.
put the pressure on them? The Microsoft or themselves?
Probably Microsoft, man.
Yeah, I mean,
You
it's a
know,
big game for Microsoft, isn't it? They haven't had a lot of day and dates of late.
No, we haven't.
yeah,
Haven't.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah, and
And
as
it's competition. It's
Yeah,
dollars. You
yeah,
can't watch the other guy, put out DLCs and games and
no,
everybody is, and then just word of mouth.
yeah.
And so, they say, you know what, we're doing this. We're going.
mhm.
Because every time they go, hey, guess what? We've got this brand new day and date game. It
Right.
obviously you're going to get people come back and resubscribe, and the hope
Yeah.
is that they forget
hmm
to unsubscribe. So there's a percentage, 80
And
20.
then you gotta also understand this. As adults, we see it. we're not the only one playing these games. Kids are playing these games too, and kids, younger kids, they're just like, hey man, are you on? Come on, let's go play some Redfall. Okay, I mean they're just playing. They're not.
That sounded like David.
Yeah, I know.
I just assumed that's who you were thinking of.
No, that's not.
That's
not what I was thinking.
Is it getting to your hearts a little bit?
We would know. We would never be that vindictive.
We gotta understand. We gotta understand. As in consumers, there's people that are tech savvy. There's people that just want to play the game. There's kids. I mean, a lot of people. Damn it, I'm not playing it at 30 frames per second. I'm going to wait until it's 60 frames per second. I'm not even playing at all because it's next gen. It should be 120 frames per second. And, I mean, once upon a time ago, I didn't care until I got a new PC and I started noticing, holy cow, and a monitor with more hertz and like, oh my God, this is what it's like. This is what it's supposed to be. Especially a multiplayer shoot 'em up game, you need those frames per second. If you're challenging and going up against people, those frames per second are important to people that compete and play. So I look at it from both sides.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Have we talked that one out? I actually had another video to show you, but it was on the wrong screen, and I suddenly appeared in its place.
Not all kids' roots. Not all kids' roots. Not all kids.
But what is that? Is that
Depends
6
on the age.
days?
Exactly.
Is that 6 days away? 7? What's that? We're on the 25th now. There's only 30 days in April. Is that a week?
What's the date? What date is it coming out?
The 2nd. Is that a week away?
The 2nd is the Wednesday week.
So 8 days away.
Yeah.
8 days away. Okay, so it's round the corner.
Well, what if you win Star Wars, though? What if you win Star Wars?
If I win Star Wars, you're not talking to me for a couple of months, right? I'm just...
Fair shout. I mean, I bet it still looks amazing with or without it being 60. I mean, this is a stunning looking game. Lots of detail.
I can't wait for it. I couldn't care less about vampires, and I couldn't care less about horror, and I couldn't care less about... But you know what? You know what I could care about? Another fun community game to play with a bunch of my pals where we're trying to survive together. And yes! Bring it on. Bring it on.
Who would you have in your squad?
Oh God, there'd be a rotation, I'm sure. Sometimes I wouldn't even be able to fit in. I'd just have to watch from the sidelines. But there's all sorts of people I love to play with. There's Ray, SPG, Callie, Doc, Raven,
Crystal. Don't forget Crystal. She's part of Crystal's our new Crystal. Dude, Crystal, we got Crystal playing Evil Dead with us, and she. Hey, I outscored you. Yeah, she kicked my butt.
Have you lured her into the dark side, Ray?
I'm trying.
She's an upstanding Christian lady, my friend. I hope you're not drawing her into the dark side. That's not what we want.
Well,
Introduce these people to the community.
She won't be the demon yet, though, Ray. Rokk. She'll only kill the demon. She won't play as the demon yet. So
fair enough. Brilliant. I'm looking forward to it. But I am. I mean, it depends if they announce when the 60 frame update is coming. Because if it's a year down the road, then blow that. But if it's like, 3 weeks' time of bringing it out with a performance mode, then I kind of would hang around.
I don't know why. Just wait. Wait till you get to 60.
Yeah. I got so many games to play, Ray.
Exactly.
I mean, this is only a week. And it's May the 2nd is Tuesday. Everybody's correcting us. It's not just you, David. I said it was Wednesday. I don't know. You never asked me anything.
Neil J makes a point. Yeah, I should know the date of my own birthday. I should know when it's coming.
I know, but I couldn't tell you what day my birthday's on in 6 months. So it's fair enough.
Exactly.
Exactly. Good. Let's get ourselves all back because we're getting to the end. Thank you for that, Dave. I really
David, good
like
job,
that feature. That's
Good job,
a
David.
nice in-depth look at all of these upcoming big titles, even if it wasn't Honky from
Right.
Genshin Impact.
It was that you, Rock. Did you put
I
that
don't
there?
know, it might have been.
I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue.
I don't know. I'm just trying to help out. I don't know what I'm doing half the
I
time.
thought you were making up noises when I saw that.
Mate, when you get to my age, you're just happy to be able to go to the loo, let alone find news items for shows and stuff. Hey, boy, hoy vey. So, Raymond, as we approach the end of the show,
Yes.
what delights do people look forward to, or can they look forward to this week from your very good self?
I think tonight I'm going to be running from werewolves in the quarry.
Oh yes, the Quarry.
So
Awesome.
and that's
I love
on
your Quarry cover.
that's on PlayStation Plus. I'm now kind of doing alternate Amazon Luna and PlayStation Plus. So now I'm kind of working on the PlayStation Plus on Tuesday nights, but I'm playing that, loving that game, loving it, and it plays great on
Yeah.
PlayStation Plus.
Awesome. And are you doing any co-hosting things?
You know, Thursday I was asked to do. So this week is the draft. So the NFL has their draft. So somebody
What, the
did
tall animal with a long neck?
no, not
Yes,
giraffe.
yes.
Oh, right.
Draft. Young men get drafted into football teams. So Vet, my good friend Vet, and maybe some other guys, maybe Thursday night will probably do that. So check for the tweet on that. And then who knows? You might be. I don't know what else. Guys, just hit me up in my DMs. Let me know what's up.
Are you going to be doing the Wreckfest and what have you now that Williams?
Yeah, I do.
off the scene from it?
I will. You know what? Saturday, his wife plays, so she's always. If he can't play, she's just as good as he is. So she's always invited to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do Wreckfest every Saturday night for CGTV in the CGTV Discord. Shout out to Root N7 and Lo-Fi Monk and all the guys. And yeah, that's me. And then
Brilliant.
Yep. Thank you.
I have a small confession to make, Ray. I'm not proud of this, but I'm going to tell you anyway. I had a little bit of Discord envy last night when I was pulled into your Discord and saw how much chat goes on. And mine, there's nothing goes on in mine.
Look, can I tell you something? David is my administrator and he has designed it. If you ever guys want somebody to do your Discord, holler at David.
He won't come and work for me, mate.
He's done a fabulous job. It's a place to chill. It's a place to.
Mine's a place to die, apparently, because that's where all conversations end.
But I'm going to say this. But also, you know what? You have a lot of other wonderful content creators. Make sure
I
you
do.
visit their Discord as well too.
Yeah, this
you know,
is true.
but I think David, thank you, because you know he's like, hey, can I take all this and change it around? And I was like, yeah, whatever. Ain't nobody gonna come in here. And he did it, and it's been great.
But that's what's happening. So I killed off a load of the channels in mine. What do they call them? The rooms. I've got rid of loads now. There's just one. And it's basically just me, tumbleweeds and crickets, basically.
Yeah. I have thoughts milling around about helping people with some Discords and doing some different Discord promotions for people. So just I've got something in the works actually, Rock. So you just hold on to that.
Have
horse.
you? Ooh.
Yeah, I do.
Everybody was Discord dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So David, my good friend, Davy Dean Wilson. There we have you on Twitter there, my friend. What have you got? You have been streaming. I've noticed you pop up.
Not reliably. I mean, it's if you want to come watch, it's mostly just for the people in the Discord because I can't. When we're all hanging out together, every now and then someone will stream their gameplay into the Discord channel, and we'll all just watch along and chat about it. Well, I can't do that on Xbox, so instead I just go live on Twitch, and they'll all watch on Twitch. But every now and then I've got other folks popping in from the community who've already followed me for whatever reason. So yeah, I've started streaming a little on Twitch from time to time. I think my username is David_Wilsonian on there.
Oh, have I got it wrong?
Oh God!
Oh, mate, hang on a second. I don't want to make
your
a
name, David?
No,
Sure.
faux pas.
I could be wrong.
David,
Oh.
I think you're wrong, David.
You are wrong, mate, because I've checked it out. Oh, you're on YouTube, you mean? On YouTube?
No, on Twitch.
No,
on Twitch. Well, I don't know about Twitch. I don't know.
Yeah, on Twitch, where that's where
Yeah.
we're talking about me going live.
Yes, sorry. I was looking. I thought you said Twitter. Beg your
You see
pardon.
that there, David_Wilsonian.
Wilsonian.
All
Yeah,
flipped.
I can
Yeah.
see it. As in the museum.
Yes, as in the museum, or the
Yes.
way of thinking. Yeah,
Yes.
Wilsonian, that's correct.
Yes.
I have been streaming on there a little bit from time to time, although there's nothing reliable. There's no schedule or anything
Okay.
like that. Just playing some single player games, and it's usually the things leaving Game Pass actually, because I've got a bit of a thing trying to finish things before they leave Game Pass, because I'm trying to get all my money's worth out of it.
Well, I was massively impressed and hugely enjoyed your True Colors. Was it True Colors? What's that game called?
Yes.
True
Here
Colors
you go.
I
shining
love
through.
that game.
No,
played it in
I saw
space.
him destroy all humans. I watched him play Destroy All Humans. That was pretty fun watching him play that.
I loved the True Colors thing. That was great. It was
Crystal
great.
played that alongside me. Actually, she's ended up
She?
getting that one on the GameFly. Is that right, Crystal? Because
Oh,
she needed some.
The,
You know what?
the rental outfit, like Boomerang. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I
Good
hammered
way
it.
of doing it.
Yeah, I only had 2 or 3 days left to play it when I started.
Mate, you were like 20 hours or something. I mean, you were like literally. You never. I would have fallen asleep. I would. I could never have done that. Well, maybe when I was 14, but not now. I
Yeah.
couldn't do it now. Ain't gonna happen, is it, Ray? Not when we're of our senior age, as it goes. Oh, bless you, my friend. Well, young, I think it was Rudigs wants to see you do more. Where did I see
Hellblade.
it?
I want to
Hellblade.
play more Hellblade. I can't wait
Yeah.
to play that. That game is. Have either of you two played it? It's
Oh yeah, I love that game. It's an amazing. I completed it. I cannot wait for the sequel.
Hellblade 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
No,
wait.
that's one of my favorite indie games of all time, and they deservedly got bought by Microsoft because that was a great studio. And I don't know if you've seen the video of the making of the game, David. It's worth looking at. They worked a lot with mental health charities because the whole game, as you know, is about her.
psychosis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Her experience of psychosis and schizophrenia. Yeah.
Yes.
It's,
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's great.
It's a fantastic game, and yeah, it's brilliant to see the amount of work they did with those organizations and to make sure that they were absolutely on it and brilliantly done. Yeah,
Can I
great
just say
game.
before we leave as well, and completely off subject, I just thought when I said psychosis, it's been given my girlfriend psychosis for the past 4 years that she has been doing her bachelor's degree at university, and she is all but finished and about to receive her bachelor's degree in
Where's she on holiday right now? Where is she on?
And yeah, she's now celebrating on holiday in Italy with her family, living the best life. But yeah, she's about to graduate, so hats off to her.
Fantastic.
Hats
Hey,
off.
well done, and that's no mean feat. So hat off to her. Well done for that. A lot of hard
yes,
work.
Yes. Yes.
Brilliant. Well done, mate. You must be justifiably proud.
I'm very proud.
If not slightly miffed that you're not enjoying a cornetto and a bowl of pasta. But
Well,
Yeah,
that-
he was eating a can of spaghetti and meatballs. I think I saw him. He was, so I did see that.
well, watching a load of Mamma Mia reruns. I think I really should be out there.
well, I just wanted to shout her out because she's done absolutely amazing and truly hats off to her. She
Yes,
deserves it.
absolutely, my dear, and well deserved. Fantastic. What's her degree? Do you mind saying?
It's a bachelor's in psychology from Edinburgh University, which she
wow.
likes to say. What's that type of prestigious university? There's like a tier of
Red Brick. Red Brick.
I don't know.
It's the Red Brick and because my daughter went to Exeter, which is the same.
There's a tier of prestige of university in the UK, and she always brags that she's got one of these prestigious university degrees now. So yes,
Yeah,
she's,
brilliant. Well done. Oh, that's fantastic. Great great course as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
She's
brilliant.
became a smart egg after the
Yeah, she'll have to provide free therapy to us band members because I think we all need it, mate.
Yes.
We all need it for sure, for sure, for sure. Right, well, we've done Raymond, we've done you, and everybody knows I'll be back clocking it from tomorrow.
Gaming now on your new schedule on Wednesday. Is that right, Rokk? Gaming.
No, I'm kicking that into touch, David. I don't know what to do. I was thinking about doing Happy Wednesday or something that's maybe a bit more I don't know what yet. Because no, I did Russell Group. Thank you, Neil.
That's it.
It's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. Thank you, my friend. No, because I noticed when I was playing games on a Wednesday that very rapidly the audience halved. So I'm thinking it maybe ain't the content people want. So no, I think I won't be doing that. But I do, as you know, I do game stream, but it tends to be weekends and or pre-recorded rather than because you guys do the game streaming. That's what you guys do. I just tend to cover the stuff, But yeah, so anyway, clock tomorrow. I'm not sure what it's going to be. I am genuinely thinking about a midweek show on clock where I just invite people to tell me the best thing that's happened to them this month and have people talk about their birthdays and graduations of their girlfriends and stuff. And everybody applauds and we all share fun and happy times. That's
I like it.
yeah, just because
Up your
it's the middle of the week, get a bit of a bump and get everybody talking about positive things to get us to the weekend. So I might be doing that tomorrow. That's kind of what I'm thinking of at the moment. And then players on Thursday, of course. And Hezekiah and Josiah back on Saturday with my next gen gaming, which is great, a great and full itinerary. So thank you guys. All right, and that's it. And don't forget as well, rockshow.com if you want to enter to win Star Wars Jedi Survivor, or the other two that I've got on there, Cyberpunk 2077 with the Ray path tracing update and a subscription to any GeForce Now Ultimate. That's on there. And the final one is to win a copy of the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom for the Switch, which is coming out in May. So if you go to rockshow.com, you can enter all of those, and it'll be fun. When your daddy takes the T-Bird away.
When do you give that one away, Rokk? That's going to be soon, right? Really soon.
Which one?
Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, well, it'll be on the 28th. I think I do it on the day and date. So Friday, 6, 7, 8. Friday, I think. Yeah.
Friday, yes.
Where are we? Wednesday, 6. Yeah. Anyway, it'll be then. And the Zelda one, I'm going to have to give away while I'm on holiday in America because it's when I'm away on holiday in America, the 12th. But that's good because I'm looking forward to doing kind of shows around the pool and maybe showing some of my upper half without.
As long as you don't show naked. The Speedos, we're good.
A little bit of that leg.
Don't show the Speedos.
Nobody wants to see anybody in Speedos, Ray. That ain't gonna happen, mate.
Yourself all waxed up, Rokk, yeah.
Oh yeah, but I don't have much in the way of chest hair, David. So I wouldn't know. No one's going to be offended by what is, in essence, there's about as much growth on my chest as there are in the middle of the Sahara Desert. So or my Discord. Both have a lot in common as it goes. Chat, thank you so much. You have, as always, been amazing. Thank you. We will, of course, be back next Tuesday. Hopefully the three of us and hopefully a fourth guest. So look out for that. Chaps, say goodbye and we'll get the hell out of here.
Chaps, goodbye.
Goodbye to your chaps. Let's get some practice in. We've got to remind David what tunes we've written and had number ones with.
Exactly. He needs to. I got some cases he needs to push, and move.
Let's sort him out, mate. Let's do it.
He's still the roadie.